贵宾、各位在座的讲者，还有新创团队的伙伴们，大家早安！欢迎大家来到 InnoVEX 2026的 Center Stage， 参加今天由 Taiwan AI 加速器、科技新创服务平台 Startup 以及 NVIDIA Inception Program 所共同举办的台湾驱动 AI 真实落地的论坛。我是数位时代创业小聚的 Hsiao， 作为 Startup 长期的媒体跟这个社群伙伴，很荣幸可以受到 Startup 的邀请，来为各位主持今天的论坛。Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to InnoVEX 2026, the center stage. And thank you for joining us today's forum, hosted by Taiwan AI Accelerator, Startup, and the NVIDIA Inception Program. 其实随着全球的 AI 快速进入了产业应用跟商业化阶段，我想各位在这3天以来的活动还有论坛上面都听了不少，所以我想我们现在大家所关注的焦点已经不再是只有技术本身，而是 AI 如何真正进入企业现场，然后能够解决实际的问题，更重要的是如何来创造可以持续的商业价值。在台湾推动 AI 产业发展的过程中 ，AI 新10大建设其实提供了重要的政策方向，从应用的推动、技术的布局，一直到基础环境的建设，可以协助台湾加速 AI 产业化跟产业 AI 化的发展。在我们正式进入今天的开场的所有的引言跟致辞之前，我想要先邀请各位一同观赏一段影片，了解 AI 新10大建设如何推动台湾 AI 创新与创业的产业发展。待会请大家一起看荧幕。Before we begin, please join us in watching a short video on Taiwan's 10 AI initiatives.
妈妈早安。
我们知道，在你心中还想为了所爱做得更多，
桃木染呢是我们
行程再满，也渴望稳住生活步调。工作再忙，也想陪伴孩子一起长大。挑战再多，也愿意为了理想跨过阻碍。
OK。
路途再远，也要守护家人一切安好。
医生，你跟我女儿说，不用担心啦。
为了爱，你愿意付出更多。AI 神队友，永远为你助攻。
为您分析左眼的睡眠数据。
条本职场有贵人，原点天才运强，搭配您今天
牛奶存量不足，建议补充。饼干已完成。
刘伯伯，手环要记得带着哦。数据看起来不错哦。
Hôm nay cái máy bị chén nó làm sao á nó AI nó cứ chết làm sao á
好，你说的哪个缓冲哦，把它降台哦，痛本比上的位，为爱你。
Cette saison, le violet s'impose incontestablement comme le maître absolu de la palette. C'est une nuance notoire.
透过这个影片，我们可以了解到台湾如何推动 AI 新10大建设，以及所着重的这个方向。那当然，接下来呢，就让我们有请国家发展委员会产业发展处的肖正荣肖处长，为我们更延续来为我们谈到更多关于新 AI 10大建设的方向。Next, let's honor to welcome the Director General Hsiao from the National Development Council for the opening remarks.
Startup Amanda 董事长，还有我们软体工会沈理事长，还有我们 NVIDIA 的刘总监，还有各位这个 NVIDIA， 还有来自各界的这个业界先进。首先我要代表国家发展委员会叶俊显叶主委向大家问好。大家早安，大家好。
好，
谢谢啊。那刚刚的影片啊，这个大家会觉得有点好奇，为什么国家发展委员会会拍这个影片？那也许有些业者对这个国发会也不太了解。那首先呢，今天我要跟大家稍微先介绍一下 为什么国发会要做这个事情？我想这个国家发展哦，大家想这个就是要未来的发展，不是只有现在的发展，要思考未来的发展。所以国发会一直在思考说，我们产业的下一步，产业的未来是什么？我们不能够只有现在的产业，我们不能只有现在的现在的这个制造业。那最近我看这个 Computex 的会展这么的夯哦，这么的热门，那代表什么？代表我们对 AI 的这个制造非常的已经造成我们的经济成长非常的高。我们今年的经济成长预计可以达到8、9，去年也差不多。那所以第一季的经济成长13%，这个都是 AI 所造成。那为什么大家有人给我们一个说法是说，我们都在卖 AI 的锅子跟柴？那台湾的未来在哪边呢？台湾的未来不能够只有卖锅子跟柴，更重要的是 AI 运用，也就是刚才的影片里面所显示的，把 AI 运用在各种不同的情境。刚才 Amanda 董事长特别跟我讲，这样的一个生活是他所憧憬的生活，那也是我们国发会思考未来想要推动这个产业的未来。那所以第一个，国发会思考未来，我们希望推动未来产业的发展。那未来的 AI 的运用，我们觉得是一个非常重要的方向。这第一个跟大家报告。第二件事情呢，这个要怎么样推动呢？要怎么样落实？需要有在座各位大家一起努力去把它实现。那所以我们希望有更多的 AI 的这个新创的队伍，更多的 AI 的新创，更多的公司可以去思考怎么样把 AI 运用到生活当中。所以这是第二件事情，国发会所思考的这个要努力的方向。因此我们做了几件事情。第一件事情，我跟大家报告，我们在这个美国设立了，跟日本设立了这个创新基地。我们希望把一些 AI 新创的运用到美国去落地。那目前为止，其实这个已经有还不错的成果。我们这个在矽谷的这个新创基地，在 Palo Alto， 我们有这个已经设立了一个新创基地。那目前为止才1年多，我们已经促成了17队，协助17个新创团队成功在美国落地。那这个在日本，我们也有一个新创基地，目前为止已经促成20个新创的团队在日本落地。那有更好的成果是有6个新创的这个公司啊，得到日本东京都日币1亿元的这个补助。所以这是第二件事情，我们协助新创扩大它的市场。寻求 AI 的运用，那 AI 运用要找市场，那台湾的市场之外，我们还希望它扩大到美国，扩大到日本，扩大到全球各地。这是第二件事情，跟大家报告国发会目前所做的一些事情。第三件事情，除了市场之外，除了政策之外，资金也很重要。所以今天很高兴，谢谢这个很多包括 NVIDIA 的投资部门，包括我们台商，包括我们很多这个创投业者都来。那国发会作为一个点火的角色，我们有国发基金，我们有很多的100亿基金。今年我们请国科会创立一个机器人的100亿基金，我们请数发部创立了一个 AI 的这个100亿基金，这都是国发会后面的国发基金在支持、在点火的。那特别是也要跟大家报告，在上个礼拜啊，我们这个创业大联盟竞赛举办最后的颁奖典礼，因为我们办这个竞赛已经办了1年多了。那有100个团队都可以得到至少300万奖金以上。那第1名是1000万奖金。上礼拜我们麻烦这个邀请到卓荣泰卓院长来为我们这些队伍颁奖。我听说今天等一下这个要 pitch 的要 present 的团队里面也有我们这个获奖的100组的团队当中我想这个都是国发会目前在努力的方向。我们提供资金，我们提供市场，我们提供各项的支持。那最后一项，我当然也要这个非常感谢 Starfab， 跟 NVIDIA， 我们在 Starfab 跟 NVIDIA 的一个合作，协助了那么多的这个新创，利用我们的Taiwan One加速器，那跟我们NVIDIA 来做结合。我想这是我们更鼓励的一个方向我们希望借由类似这样的一个加速器，协助每个新创在 AI 里面寻找更多的运用。那今天的主题就是要找寻 AI 的更多的创新运用。我们希望鼓励更多的新创公司能够 在我们刚刚讲这几个政策方向底下，在大家共同一起努力合作的一个方向底下，能够找寻更多的机会，让台湾呢不是只有这个人家跟我们说，我们现在卖锅子卖铲子可以让 GDP 成长的那么高，可是未来呢，是不是不只是卖锅子卖铲子，我们能够可以找到更多的这个 AI 运用的方向？这也就是上礼拜这个卓荣泰卓院长在我们 AI 我们的这个创业大联盟竞赛的颁奖典礼里面讲到的，投资新创，投资 AI 的新创，就是投资台湾的未来。我希望能够借由支持 Starfab， 支持 NVIDIA 在台湾的这个加速器，找到台湾更多的 AI 运用的这个发展机会，能够投资台湾的 AI 的更多的未来。请大家一起努力，大家说好不好？请大家一起加油，谢谢大家，谢谢。
非常感谢来自国家发展委员会肖正荣肖处长的致辞 ，Thank you very much, Director General Hsiao。今天我们活动现场也非常荣幸邀请到非常多来自于产业、来自于供应链、投资还有创新生态系的贵宾一同与会。那在此也非常感谢大家在百忙之中来到现场。现在呢，我们也希望利用这简短的时间一一唱名，然后也希望各位可以起身挥手，向我们在场所有的朋友们一起挥手致意哦。首先是来自主办单位的代表 Starfab 的刘彦荣董事长。接下来同样来自于这个主办单位是 NVIDIA 全球副总裁，负责亚太区企业营销的刘念宁全球副总裁。And let's welcome from NVIDIA the VP of Development Ecosystem, Mr. Ankit Patel. Please stand up and give a wave to the audiences. Thank you very much, Mr. Patel. And we also have Mr. Benjamin Zhang, the head of NVIDIA Inception Startup Program, Asia Pacific, and also the developer programs. Welcome, Benjamin. We also have Jacob Lieberman, the director from NVIDIA Deep Learning Institution. Oh, he's not here, I'm sorry. And then we have LJ, 欢迎NVIDIA 新创生态亚太区负责人 LJ Chu。接下来欢迎的是 TISA 中华民国资讯软体服务商业同业公会的理事长沈伯嫣理事长。同样来自于 TISA 的张雅芬副秘书长，谢谢。接下来有请 Chemic Mechanical Engineering 广运机械工程的谢清福总裁，总裁早安。同样来自广运机械工程的柯志军总经理，总经理早安。接下来来自神盾集团安格科技 Algotech 的蓝世敏董事兼总经理。以及也是非常支持 Starfab 的凌群电脑的 Syscom Group 的曾景川副总经理。这个昨天才刚办完加速器的这个 demo show， 和泰汽车经营企划部的李美琪部长 ，from Hotei Motor。接下来是来自资本的这个生态圈的伙伴哦，欢迎 CDIB Capital Group 中华开发资本南一军总经理。欢迎南总，同样来自 CDIB Capital Group 中华开发资本的林树山资深副总。刚刚处长提到来自台山资本 Taiwan Capital 的李一平执行合伙人，你好。最后同样是来自创投的伙伴 Venture Plus 的创办人庄丰斌创办人。非常感谢各位的莅临跟指导，希望我们今天的论坛能够一起带动 AI 产业化、产业 AI 化的各种创新的讨论。所以接下来呢，我们将从加速器跟产业链接的角度，进一步了解台湾 AI 加速器如何陪伴新创从技术到开发到产品验证，最后走向商业落地跟国际市场的验证。首先，先让我们有请 Starfab 的刘彦荣董事长上台，为我们分享台湾 AI 生态圈的推动跟愿景。Let's give a warm applause to Amanda Liu, the chairperson of Starfab, to the stage for the opening remarks.
国家发展委员会肖处长 ，NVIDIA 副总裁 Maggie, and the VP of the director, the VP of Developer Ecosystem Ankit Patel, 还有所有与会的贵宾、投资人、产业，还有更要欢迎的是在场的所有的新创伙伴，大家早安，大家好。那今天在这个舞台呢，我们汇聚的其实不只是台湾的力量，而是来自于全世界对台湾供应链的期待。所以呢 ，NVIDIA Inception 跟 StarFab， 我们共同建立了 Taiwan AI Accelerator。那我们希望呢，不只是加速器，而是能结合资本的力量，让全世界看到台湾是亚洲最强的软硬整合 AI 创新应用的生态系。所以呢，我今天要分享的不只是加速器我们过去做的事情，我今天更想要说的是，我们更加的想要进一步的推动台湾 AI Fund 的初衷跟蓝图。从去年开始呢，台湾 AI Accelerator， 我们秉持的是台湾 AI No.1。我们希望的是台湾产业的优势，以及供应链的能量，还有国际技术资源，从台湾为起点，让台湾的 AI 创新不只是技术，而是能够推进到场域，能够抢攻国际市场。所以呢 ，NVIDIA 跟 StarFab 呢，我们结合了加速器的力量，我们更加的是聚焦在智慧制造、医疗、机器人这些领域的实际的需求。我们希望吸引全球的 AI 创新能够落地到台湾。所以呢，我们可以看到的是，在过去 AI 新创它从技术的验证到商业化，其实它有很大的门槛。这个门槛呢，来自于就是如何扩大。那我们希望的是，在它扩大的过程，我们给它更多的完整的供应链的资源，给它更多的投资策略投资以及市场的经验。所以今天我们聚集大家，我们一起来看，到底我们怎么样用台湾的强项面对全世界的 AI 创新。这个 AI 目前我们看到的，它不只是技术的竞争，而是规模化的挑战。所以我们聚集大家，我们正式宣布台湾 AI Accelerator 要在投资基金上面正式启动我们的筹备。我们期待让台湾 AI Fund 成为台湾 AI 生态系面向全球 AI 创新关键投资平台，而且呢，让台湾 AI Fund 的价值不只是资金的支持，同时也是能够让全世界看到台湾不只有技术，有国际链接。我们的生态系是一个可以打造 To B 在智慧制造、在医疗、在供应链、在 Robotics 最好的示范的平台，并且透过这个平台，我们把这些 marketable 的 AI 的 application 能够推向国际市场。所以台湾 AI 加速器到台湾 AI Fund 的成立，我们希望的是让海内外所有好的 AI 落地到台湾。那我们期待呢，台湾的生态系是全球 To B AI application 的起点。同时，我们也希望透过台湾 AI Fund 能够让台湾的创新让全世界看到，让台湾的影响力不只是电子五哥在全球创造，同时也是台湾的整个产业链、台湾的地区、台湾的市场，是让 AI application 落地示范的一个最好的地方。那我们希望透过集结大家的力量，让全世界看到台湾的能量，台湾 New Generation 的能量，同时也能够让全球好的 AI 新创跟台湾的产业合作。这以上是台湾 AI Accelerator 以及未来我们在规划台湾 AI Fund 的最大的远景跟初衷。谢谢大家聚集在这里，我们一起努力。谢谢大家。
非常感谢 StarFab 刘彦荣董事长为我们带来的这个激励跟喊话哦。我们刚刚听到了台湾的 AI 新创要走向市场，具备的优势除了有技术，除了有国际链接，那接下来台湾 Accelerator 要为大家补足的就是台湾的 AI Fund， 希望更有这个资本的影响力，然后协助台湾的 AI application 能够成为另外一股全新的台湾的影响力。 那当然，我们知道在台湾 Accelerator 推动的过程中 ，NVIDIA Inception Program 其实是非常重要的技术还有国际资源的伙伴。那透过了这个 AI 技术平台、开发者资源，还有全球的生态系，也可以协助不只是台湾哦，还包含亚太区的这个 AI 团队，都能够加速产品的验证，并且拓展更多的市场机会。所以接下来，让我们很荣幸的邀请 NVIDIA 亚太区企业营销的刘念宁全球副总裁上台为我们致辞，欢迎刘副总裁。Let's welcome Ms. Maggie Liu, the Vice President of Enterprise and Corporate Marketing Asia Pacific at NVIDIA. Please.
谢谢大家好，我是刘念宁，我是这个土生土长的台湾人，我是在花莲长大，然后大学跟研究所都是在台大就读的。去年也是，我其实很少这个公开演讲哦，因为真的很忙。但是去年我的公开演讲也是献给这个Taiwan Accelerator。去年第1年，我们成立了这个 Taiwan Accelerator 加速器，很快已经满了1年了。那在这1年之内，我看到了我们的这个Accelerator 做了非常非常棒的事情。当然我只能说跟 NVIDIA 有关的最大的亮点，我们在今年我们的这个 GTC 美国，我们一共带了10几家，有13家到了美国去，在我们的国际市场上亮相，而且每一个这个解决方案都非常的惊艳。现在才过了几个月，2个月而已。这一次在我们这个 InnoVEX， 我们又有了14家非常非常棒的解决方案。我觉得这个就是你看1年不算长，但是成果满满。那我在前2天这个 NVIDIA 我们有一个 Startup Day， 我在跟所有我们的这个 Startup 参加的这个新创公司，以及我们的很多的这个投资生态也好，企业的这个生态也好，我提到 NVIDIA 我们的这个 Inception Program， 实际上跟我们的这个 Taiwan Accelerator 做的事情实际上是一样的。那第一个就是商机在哪里？那这个部分，我觉得待会我会再讲一下。我觉得我看到我对台湾的这个 startup 的一些期许。再来第2个，我们就是支持体系。我们的支持体系，譬如说我们的今天有好多我们的投资人，这个就是非常非常重要的支持体系。再来我们的加速器也是非常非常重要的支持体系。那更重要的，我们是要搭起这个鹊桥，就是我们怎么样可以让大家一起连结起来，可以沟通，可以互相碰撞，找到更好的发展。这个就是我们在做的 Where to Connect。我们今天在这里也是一个很重要的鹊桥。那在过去我大概讲一下这个我们的这个 NVIDIA 的一个新创这个加速计划，就是这个 Inception Program。我从之前在这个中国大陆，我们开始有这个新创计划，是大概已经10年了。从0到现在，在中国超过3500家。2年前，我们的这个亚太团队加进我的团队之后，我们在亚太更多了。我们一共现在有4400多家。那在过去这10年，我参加了无数的这个新创企业的路演，也看到了很多从几个人参加我们的路演，然后 变成了独角兽，现在变成非常非常重要的在 AI 的这个 player。我举一个简单的例子，譬如说 Dept， 大家应该知道 Dept 这家公司吧？Keynote 他们都是在几个人的时候加进我们的这个新创 ，Eric 最清楚了。然后一路跟着我们的新创企业一直成长，而且在很短的时间去成长。那我觉得看到很多新创企业他们在成长的过程当中，有几件事情是非常非常重要的成功因素。那我想在这边也分享给我们在台湾的新创企业。第一个非常重要的就是你一定要有市场，你的产品一定要有市场。有些新创企业这个真的是这个理想很美好，但是现实是很骨感的，所以一定要看到你的产品跟服务能不能解决实际的痛点，譬如说产业的痛点，你的客户的痛点，我觉得这个是第一个非常重要的。那当然，第二个，我相信能够出来创业的，一定有很好的这个创业团队。那创业团队很重要的就是要有执行力，能产出。如果在这个执行力跟产出跟不上的话，也会很多这个就是前面就过不去了。所以我们也看到新创公司的这个成功率。那我也知道这个在我们的这个台湾的 Accelerator 成功率非常非常高，是超过88%的。所以有市场，有团队，其实还是不够的。再来呢，你实际上还要是有资源。那这个资源是什么呢？这个资源就是今天这个很重要的要有钱。再来呢，还要有这个支持体系，就是我刚刚在讲的，你必须要把这个部分做得很好。这个有资源，我本来是想放到最后讲的，因为这个是我们今天的重点。今天这个台湾放真的是非常非常重要。那在这个之前呢，譬如说你这个有执行力，还有一个很多人没有特别想到的，你的商业模式，就是你要能够变现。很多人有很多商业模式，但是他就是落不了地，不能变现。所以我觉得为什么这个 Taiwan Accelerator 成功率那么高？其实刚那个特别刚才在Amanda 特别讲的，就是要落地，就是你要从这个验证 POC 变成能产业化，能够规模化，你能够变现，这个是非常非常重要。所以你有了市场，你有了团队，你有了商业模式，最后一个就是要有资源。我们很多这个新创企业需要懂得怎么去用这个 Taiwan Accelerator， 用我们所有的像政府的资源，要多认识萧处长他的团队，然后要我们的这个软体协会的，我们很多这个资源，还有我们很多的投资方的资源。为什么这个资源这么重要？我们看到很多实际上做得不错，但是一半就死了，因为活不了。所以最后一个有资源是要干嘛呢？你要能活下来，活下来你在当中，如果你的金流断了，你就活不了了。这个非常非常重要。所以我看到在过去，为什么其他的市场新创很容易从只要前面3个有了，很容易变成独角兽。 但是在台湾，我觉得在最后有资源的部分，这个需要更多的投资人真的进来支持，尤其是这个早期的，给他们更多能够活下去的这个资源，这个非常非常重要。所以在这边我的团队其实有给我准备一些演讲稿，我都脱稿，因为我觉得这个是对我们台湾新创非常重要。那再来，我要回到讲到说，Amanda 特别讲其实台湾一定要有基于本身的优势，你要产业化、规模化，你的商业模式要变现，最好要立足于台湾的这个我们讲的就是优势。台湾的优势，其实大家都有听那个 Jensen 的主题演讲，我们讲了非常非常多。台湾的这个 supply chain 是真的是全世界第一的，我们有很多在这个部分的优势。那新创的这个机会在哪里呢？我们就回到前面讲的这个商机。那 Jensen 一直在提到，我听到的第一个就是 agent。这个部分对新创是比较容易找到可以琢磨的。我们老板也讲5层蛋糕，实际上他昨天在做这个 boost tour， 不是吃了那个5层蛋糕，但是他怎么说呢？他说哪一块应该是最大的？越上面应该越大，就是 application 的部分是最大的。所以我们的新创企业很多机会要去看，基于我们的优势，我们很多 supply chain 他们都有很多需求，有很多的这个 application 需要的，所以 application 这个部分真的非常非常重要。但是这个 application 的部分，你为了要变现，你一定要先看到你在的市场有没有你的客户会为你买单的。所以我们会看到，我们有很多，譬如说我们投的这个 Met AI， 它的服务客户就是这些涨得非常快，而且可以付钱、愿意付钱的这些我们很多 supply chain 的客户。所以基于台湾的这个优势，我觉得在这个 industrial application 有非常非常大的商机，而且这个部分不是只有台湾需要，全世界都需要。我们看到的就是这个部分 NVIDIA 可以帮大家的是一样的，带到全球市场去。然后如果在技术方面，大家知道我们有很多很好的技术团队， Anki 他就带了很多的这个专家在总部，可以协助大家在这一块更快的能把 POC 怎么样落地变成可以规模化的。但是有些功课是需要我们的新创公司去做的。你的 application 解决了什么样的痛点？你要了解台湾的这些环境的优势在哪里，客户需要什么。这个部分有时候要想很大，但是起头一定要从你能解决的问题开始起头，这个非常非常关键。然后在这个成长的过程当中，你一定要去想你的商业模式一定要能变现。然后资源，我觉得其实就是要多跟所有的这个 ecosystem 多接触，然后去看你的部分到底缺在哪里。那这样的话，我觉得我们在这里应该很快能看到更多的这个独角兽。我们也期待我们看到更多的这个台湾之光。其实我看到我们的 application 非常非常棒，我们的强项除了制造，其实台湾的医疗真的很棒，真的有很多可以去创造出来的，这些都是我们所有新创可以想到去做到的。 那以前呢，开发很难，现在有了 AI 之后，开发变得很容易了。那只要你能解决前面这几个问题，你的有没有市场，你有没有团队，然后你有没有商业模式，然后再加上所有的资源帮忙，我相信很快会有独角兽的出现。我们也祝福我们的 Accelerator 跟 Taiwan， 我觉得 Taiwan 要更多，我们希望有更多的这个台湾的这个投资者。我们现在 GDP 都要超10了，我们需要更多的这个台湾的这个企业家加入这个Taiwan的行列。谢谢大家。
Thank you, Maggie, for the cheerful sharing. 非常感谢 Maggie 为我们带来的分享哦。就像刚刚 Maggie 提到的，我们今天的这个驱动 AI 真实落地的现场，就是汇集了市场、团队、资源、资金、政策所有的支持体系在一起。所以 for the very special moment， 我希望可以邀请大家一起合影留念。I would like to, before we move on to the next session, I would like to invite everyone to join us for a few group photos. Okay, one is never enough, so I'm gonna invite all of you to, join a few group photos. 首先第一张，让我们来一个稍微正经一点的。如果你们手上有 logo 牌，都欢迎举起来。If you got logos in your hand, please raise up and show to the cameras. Let's do a formal one first. So for the first shot, look at the camera and smile. Okay? All right, let's move on to the second one. 我们接下来拍第二张。I would like to, please give me your hand. Here we are, Taiwan, right? So please show me the pose. Strike a pose for me, Taiwan. Look at the camera. Look at the T. Show me a T. Anki, I like your pose. All right, the third one, here we are talking about AI. So let's go with A. And then the third one here, third one, whatever. Taiwan, right? Taiwan. All right, the last one, I promise. The last one. The other way to show number one, a very Taiwanese way. Thumbs up. Taiwan. And let's yell it out. Taiwan, number one. Thank you very much for joining me with this fun moment. Thank you. 非常谢谢大家一起加入这个合影的行列。And now we're moving on to the next session. AI 要从真正的这个概念的验证走向规模化的部署，需要稳定的技术基础。所以接下来呢，我们要来进行的就是 AI 的技术论坛。我们今天非常荣幸邀请到 NVIDIA 开发者生态系的副总裁 Mr. Ankit Patel 为我们带来今天的台湾技术论坛。NVIDIA 如何打造 AI 生态系规模化的关键基石。Let's welcome Mr. Ankit Patel, the Vice President of Development Ecosystem at NVIDIA, for today's speech. Ankit, the stage is yours.
Ni hao. Can you hear me? Okay, great. Let's just go past here. Hi, my name is Ankit Patel, like he said. I lead developer marketing. And in my job, I do a lot of work with engineers and developers, people building the application layer. As I'm here, I'm talking to a lot of people building the infrastructure. You guys are all building AI, but I'm learning that maybe you're not using AI as much, or sometimes I get questions about why is there so much demand? Is it going to continue, right? You're building AI, you guys are building the infrastructure, so thank you. But at the same time, you're wondering, hey, where's this coming from? Why does it work? So I'm hoping to talk to you about three things. One is that question about the inference demand, and then we'll talk about the change in the computing platform, and then obviously builders are developers. So let's get started. How many of you use AI today? Awesome, everybody. So this is what you're probably thinking the experience is, right? Like You ask a question, you have a prompt, you say, okay, I have, go find me a vegetarian restaurant or something. You get an answer. That's what it feels like to you. What happens, and what happened recently, is AI models, this isn't about, a couple of years ago, AI models are thinking, right? We talk about reasoning, and you used to see this, now they're turning it off, where you ask a question and then it says, well, the question that was asked was about this, so therefore I need to do this, I need to go calculate, and it's starting to reasoning. The way that works is you asked one question, one prompt, the model itself asks, it gets an answer, and it asks itself more questions, okay? So that's what AI was kind of feeling like. Most people didn't feel that. They just saw it, oh, I'm getting better answers. To you, your experience was, I'm getting better answers. Now, and this is all sort of the simpler, I'm running with a single model. What's happening now with agentic AI, it's a lot more complicated. What we're building, what's happening is, this is your interface, right? You see a prompt, you ask a question. There's a model, like if you ask a question by voice, because you can talk to your AI. You don't just have to type, you can talk. But how does that work? There's an AI model, that's an ASR model, automatic speech recognition, that takes that, what you said, translates it into text, and then it goes into a prompt. You guys, I see a lot of claws here. The whole idea of the claw was that this is an agent that runs continuously. So you give it a task, and I might say, hey, build me a very simple operating system. If I was to do that as a startup, I need a basic operating system for my little startup that's very minimal, just a memory manager, just some file management. Go do it. I would have to go hire engineers. It might take me, $1 million and to go and get that built. Now I can sort of vibe code. This actually has happened. There was a vibe coded OS that, this is a real story, and it took them, I think, a week. So the AI by itself went, it wrote the code, it tested the code, wrote the tests, and continuously tested it. It failed, verified the failures, went back. Now, is this a secure operating system that I want to put into production? No. But it's a way for me to prototype, to build, to test. Maggie was talking about the POC, was talking about the process of the customers. So one of the things that's happening, so let me finish the story here. So that's very important for the AI, long-running AI. That's the agents now, long-running. You can give it a task, and it's going to keep trying and keep doing things until, the way that works is the AI, the agent, spins up sub-agents. So humans like to use agents to do things. Turns out AI also likes to use agents to do things. So an AI is spinning up sub-agents, and then those sub-agents sometimes are spinning up even more sub-agents. So from your single one ask, you say to one, that spun up multiple language models, multiple compute, and each of these language models is a lot of compute. So that's why you're seeing the demand. You're saying, why am I building data centers? Why is there like, $500 billion of capacity that we're building up? All this data center demand, why? It's because there's a lot, and it's valuable, right? I can build, I can test. The ability for me to be able to ask my computer to do something for me. I don't have to do it myself. I ask it to do it for me. Is very, very opening. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So these are all different models, and then some of it runs locally, some of it runs in the cloud. So that's the idea number one that I want you to realize, is that agentic AI is a big, big, big compute workload. The reason it's a big, big, big compute workload is because agents are using agents, and those agents are using agents, right? It's all, and they're all verifying and working with each other. So, there's going to be, when you think about business, I got some VCs here. If you think about comparables, right? You have, what is the comparable for agentic systems? A lot of times, people talk about AI is going to take away jobs. It's not taking away jobs because we want more labor, but that is the comparable. Like if I can hire more labor to do more work, I will hire more labor. So that's kind of what's driving some of the demand. So that's the demand for compute is insane. And let me talk about how the infrastructure is changing. If you guys remember the computing platform, like this is what you built in 1980, right? You built the first computer. IBM kind of specified it, the IBM 360. You had networking, you had a CPU, you had storage, you had memory. That was a computer in 1980. But what happened in 2006, NVIDIA came up with CUDA. We said, you can now program these accelerated applications. So if I go back, what we did is we added, there was a VGA controller to show your display, but that's different. When you added CUDA, you can now compute, you're writing CUDA applications, and these applications are accelerated applications. You're able to do science, you're able to do complex math. I love this saying was, I think it was a researcher in Japan, Jensen says it in different times, when the researcher was working on I think it was a cancer or something, a problem, and he's doing the simulation, and it would take forever, and you have to do multiple iterations. And so now with accelerated computing, with CUDA, he was able to do his life's work in his lifetime, right? Because of the iteration span. So we had this accelerated computer, and it was awesome. Something changed though in 2022. How many of you use ChatGPT? Right? You guys use ChatGPT, same. So ChatGPT was this kind of experience in 22 when that happened, where you had a language model, and if you remember the first diagrams I showed, it was like diagram 1 and 2, where you had a language model, single language model, and you ask it a question and you get back an answer. That was where we were at. That was what 22 sort of looked like. What's happening now, thinking back to what I showed earlier, is this is what Jensen's talking about. This is what's happening now, where you're seeing the agents. That computer is insufficient for agents, right? So now that's why we're adding a lot more compute. You'll still have, this is the data center view of the world, where you'll have, we talk about, Jensen shows the Bear Rubin platform with the CPU, the GPU, the networking, and all that stuff. That is an AI factory. An AI factory is different from a data center because in the data center, you're running these applications, right? You're running these accelerated applications. You're running also your Exchange server, your email, and those are used by humans. What's happening now is I need a place where I can run my AI. I don't run my AI on the same data center. I run my AI on an AI factory because the AI, the way that you think about AI is you think about tokens, right? We talk about tokens. What is a token? So you think about AI as I've given it some input tokens and it produces output tokens. But in order to do that, remember I showed you the diagram with all of the system of AIs happening? It's not just a simple application. There's multiple AIs, and these models are massive, right? Like you have trillion parameter models. They put a lot of demand on compute, on memory, on a GPU, compute more than memory, but compute, bandwidth, networking, all that matters. And so you have to build a specialized system, and that's what you're building, is you're building AI infrastructure. That's what you guys are building. You're building AI factories, right? So that's how those two sort of things connect, where you have the demand for compute from the applications. One of the things that I think a lot of people get wrong or don't understand is when I build this runs AI. It runs these language models. If I built one that was Hopper, okay? Hopper, right now, if you're buying tokens or if you're buying infrastructure, Hopper costs more now than it did when we first released it. This idea of an appreciating asset, we're used to it in our house. Your house goes up. Taiwan's very expensive, apparently. You can't afford a house here. So, the prices go up. But when you buy a car, the value goes down. Data centers and things, people have a hard time understanding why. Why is it an appreciating asset? The reason for that, especially for at the NVIDIA, what we do when a new model comes out. Let me ask you a question. Today, how many of you have employees? Everybody has an employee or something, or you know how employees work, or how many of you are employees? All of you guys have a job? Okay, some students, I guess. But so when you go to school, you learn something. You have some capacity, a skill. You go get a job. You get paid X dollars. I don't know. I'm going to make up a number. I don't know what, $10 an hour. As you learn more skills, as you learn more about the job, you get paid more. Why do you get paid more? Because you are doing more valuable work. Your management, your team, they want to pay you more. So back to the analogy of AI being like labor, it's always helpful to think of analogies, I find. So what happens is when you have AI running in your, when you have these agents running in your AI factory, at a point in time, they provide X amount of value. But what's happening is we're training new models, we're making them better. Now, when I take the better model, run it on the exact same AI infrastructure. That's the nice thing about NVIDIA. We have a flexible architecture. So now that I'm running a more capable model on the same infrastructure, is it worth more or worth less? Thank you. It's worth more. So that's what's happening is as you are able to run these more capable models, as we have, this is where the accelerated computing and the co-design comes in. You're able to charge more for it. There's also a speed component. We talk about the LPU. So Jensen, I think he did at GTC, not this time. There's a trade-off, right? So for people building and running these AI factories, they have to think about how do I serve, if I have a factory that can make 1 million tokens a second, I have a choice. I can serve 1 million users at 1 token per second, which is not great, very bad actually. Or I can serve, 10,000 users at 1,000 tokens a second, right? So those types of choices I can make, and that's how you decide performance or how you decide value. So there's a quality component, and the way that happens is because you have this combination, co-designed, very integrated infrastructure to be able to support that. And when a new model comes out, you get more performance. Sometimes you get more tokens, sometimes you get more capability, but you get more value. Okay, does that make sense? So there's a lot of demand, and the infrastructure is changing. So as an application developer, if you're building, one of the other things that, before I go on to the next thing, as builders, so if you're a startup and you're building, one of the things that you probably heard me say is I said, hey, I can use agents to go build a bunch of stuff. So if I'm an early stage startup, I'm thinking, are these agents just going to be able to write software for me? Yes and no. They don't, life cycle, as startups, you should all be using AI to help you write the software. But the other thing you have to think about, and when you think about the use case, when you think about who is my customer, don't only think that my customer is a human. Your customer might also be an agent, right? So write an application or build your startup or thinking about who is your audience, and your audience might be agents as well. And it's very likely that your audience segmentation, you will have more agents in the future than you will have humans using your application. Make sense? So something to think about. All right, so for builders, the way that we have all this infrastructure, how many of you have a car? What does the car do when you're not driving it? Exactly nothing. So all of this stuff I talked about is worth nothing unless you have builders. Builders take infrastructure and make it useful. Builders take computing, make it useful. So as startups, as builders, you're the key to the future. Okay? You get to decide. And what's happening, what's interesting, you're seeing all this headlines, you're seeing all this stuff about AI infrastructure, which I think I might have addressed a little bit. What's important is that the infrastructure is there. So as a builder, you separate out, you say, okay, this is gonna stay. I have access to capacity. I have access to compute. I can think in an unlimited way. So I would love for, startups to use more and more. Billions of tokens will be consumed. Trillions of tokens will be consumed by these startups. But the infrastructure is there to support you. So as humans, I'm going to shout out to builders, some thoughts, some things to think about. as humans, we've always used tools. Tools have helped us improve our life, right? We talked about improving humanity, improving our state of life. You know, originally, I don't know, maybe we hunted with our hands, we farmed with our hands, probably not very efficient. We started using tools to hunt and farm and fish and whatever. And so that was our evolution. Builders, some builder made those tools, right? Some startup made those tools. The Industrial Revolution, right? We had the steam engine. Somebody invented that, and then when that came, all these tools got invented on top of it, right? Internal combustion is just a continuation of the steam engine, but that got invented, and everything happened with builders building applications. All this stuff that happened on top of it happened with builders who created that. So builders used tools to turn, you know, improve life. We scaled labor, manufacturing, clothing, all this stuff got easier. So there was, from the physical, we went into a virtual state with software, right? When we started writing software, when we had the internet, when we had all those things, what that was all about was about our information, our data. We were able to use the tools, the Industrial Revolution, and then the information revolution, where the job was to understand all this information and try to answer the questions that, you know, we're trying to answer questions. We're saying, hey, we need to figure this out. Answer this question. Here's this data. Answer this question. The builders, you build applications. You build tools that help you answer those questions. The new thing for you to think about now with AI, this is getting a little philosophical, but the thing to think about is what you're able to do now is you're able to program intelligence, right? We talked before, you were programming information and manipulating. You're programming intelligence. So think about as a startup, as a tool builder, think about what that gives you. That gives you the ability to program process, program workflow, program best practices. You can codify knowledge. AI lets you codify knowledge, right? That is an incredible capability. And what's going to happen in the future is uncertain, but there are certain things you know for sure, is that builders will be important, infrastructure will be important, and that human life will get better. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with one final thought, something to think about, and I'll give you a story. So there was this, what's his name? Erdos. So there's a math problem, the Erdos problem, which is if you take any number of points, how do you draw what is the number of points you can get that are the same unit apart? So it's a math problem, and for, I don't know, 50 years, it was understood that it's a solved problem. Mathematicians said it is done. Cannot be better. We have the solution. We applied AI, and guess what? Found a better solution. Why? Because the AI was able to think about it differently than we did. We were a little bit, you know, sort of biased in it's been solved, not really working on it. Somebody applied AI, did some brute force, did some intuition, and it helped make that problem better. We got a more efficient solution. That's not the end of the story, though, because what happened is once we saw that, we said, oh, that was clever. I wish that was very clever. Oh, but now I could apply that clever use of math to a different domain, a different area. That was a human that did that. And then now we improved in another area. So that's the thought I'm going to leave you with, is as this moves forward, we are building the infrastructure, we're programming intelligence. Our tools are going to shape the future. And then those tools will help us as well to improve our lives. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anki, for the insightful speech. 在 Anki 的演讲当中，我们其实可以看到 ，Please take your seat. Thank you. 我们可以看到 AI 要从模型开发到概念验证，到走向真正的规模化应用 ，infrastructure 很重要 ，application 怎么跟 agent 之间 work together 很重要。所以运算能力、开发工具、技术平台、系统整合的能力都很重要。更重要的是，也要有能够长期来支撑落地的生态系。所以接下来，请让我们把视角延伸到亚太新创生态系。 我想台湾作为 NVIDIA 在台湾推动 AI 加速器生态系的重要伙伴，台湾也期待能够透过 NVIDIA 的国际生态系的资源，促进台湾跟更多的国际的 AI 新创团队交流跟链接。所以，我们今天的论坛呢，其实也有邀请到来自 NVIDIA 海外整个亚太区 AI 加速器资源所辅导的新创团队。各位等一下都可以听到部分团队的精彩的分享。那我们今天呢，在这个听到团队分享之前，我们想要先邀请新创生态的这个 NVIDIA 新创生态亚太区负责人 LJ 上台，为我们介绍 NVIDIA AI Accelerator 在亚太区的生态系链接。Let's welcome LJ Chu, the head of startup ecosystem APAC at NVIDIA. Let's move to LJ's slide. LJ, would you like to say hi to everyone first?
好，我跟大家介绍一下哦，就是我跟 Maggie 一样是土生土长的台湾人。那我自己在新加坡住了16、17年，3年前来到 NVIDIA， 帮助 NVIDIA 打造我们的新创生态系。那今天很开心，透过 Computex 再次回到台湾。好，那刚刚前面我们那个刘董事长，还有我们的刘全球副总，还有我们的 Anki 都分享过非常多NVIDIA 还有 StarFab 在台湾做的事情啊。那当然台湾的 AI 加速器是 NVIDIA Inception 生态中非常重要的一环，而且它也非常具有独特性，因为像我们的刘总还有我们的刘董事长说到的，这个加速器呢，它着重在于怎么样的利用台湾的优势来帮助我们的新创。但是它虽然具有独特性，在这条路上，其实台湾也并不孤单，因为 NVIDIA Inception 的团队在亚太区，它建立了一个非常充满活力而且完整的一个加速器网络，从韩国到日本，到台湾，到越南，还有到新加坡。我们每一个国家的这个特殊合作的加速器呢，都因地而制，量身打造他们的策略，为各个市场中最具有潜力的成长型 AI 新创们提供全力的支持。那 NVIDIA Inception 合作的加速器呢，他们每一个人呢，在各自的专长领域中，对于新创最关键的需求，投入专注，同时呢在放大在地的优势。那通常这样的一个合作方式呢，涵盖了与政府的深度还有非常广度的合作，也加强推动企业的导入。当然也从透过专属的基金，还有我们的 Go to Market 的这些方式，来加强我们的全球推广，来实现我们每一个加速器的最大价值。随着 AI 从实验阶段迈向实际的部署，新创们在各个国家还有各个团队中，他们需要的远不止于在地的需求跟支持。为了跨出本土的市场并扩大规模，他们更需要的是国际能见度，还有跨国的产业资源的对接。所以呢，我们对于我们全球还有我们整个生态系里面的 AI 加速器的期望是，我们希望他们能够成立一个非常紧密的一个联盟，来共享我们所有网络里面的资源，包含了我们在地的企业的机会，还有我们在地企业，还有我们整个在地的生态系里面所带进的这一些投资的资源，来一起携手合作，来成倍放大我们的影响力，为我们的 AI 新创们呢，能够打造一个更坚实、更无缝的一个渠道，让他们能够迈向国际化。让他们在地的新创、在地的创新，能够遇见更多的全球的机遇哦。所以今天接下来的这个环节呢，我们将透过亚太区各地方的 AI 加速器旗下的优秀新创们，来看一看这些 AI 新创对于产业还有我们未来的 AI 科技能够带来的驱动力与影响力。谢谢大家。
Thank you, LJ. 谢谢。As LJ just mentioned. Next, we're going to invite various AI startups from APAC AI accelerators from different markets to share their different innovative applications. 所以接下来我们要邀请的就是APAC AI Accelerator 新创团队依序上台 首先 let's welcome the first startups. It's Autotech Global from Thailand. Let's welcome the Global Director of Software Engineering at Autotech Global, Mr. Takorn. Please be on the stage and give us your presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Takorn from Autotech. So today, let's start from a big pictures. So right now, our world has committed a net zero emission goal by the year 2050. But here's one big challenge. Right now, over 40% of those emissions come from the energy that our building consumes. The worst offenders are the commercial buildings, say office, hotel, retail, hospital, or factories. They still operate manually. They're still blind by their own data, and they still waste lots of energy daily. We could not reach any net zero without transforming all of these properties with IoT and AI solutions, and it's really hard. At Autotech, we live on this challenge every day for the past 5 years. We are a climate tech company that we make buildings run on AI, and here's how we run it. Think of self-driving, but for buildings. Just similar to self-driving car, our building is sense, act, and decide, and acts on its own, optimizing energy consumptions, air quality, and comfort, keeping the tenant people healthy while cutting out the carbon. And that is an autopilot mode for our buildings, and it's already running live right now. As of today, Autotech, we have operated more than 100 properties across Thailand, Singapore, and Malaysia. And the results are quite consistent, around 10 to 30% energy saving, and thousands of tons of carbon reduced every year. These are not pilot projects. They are real life buildings running real, saving money and carbon right now. In the past few years, we have found across multiple verticals of buildings that they share the same common problems. Those buildings, they need to cut their energy and carbon, but they don't have the right tool to do it yet. So if we zoom out to a bigger picture, this is the scale of our problem. 3.5 billion tons of carbon need to be put out of properties within the year 2050. This means that every building will need exactly what we built, and this is our market, this is our opportunities. As of now, multiple buildings, they're still stuck at one stage, which are they already have their IT system installed, but they still operate things manually. This gap from where they are and where they should be, this is our opportunities. And here's how we close this gap. Our product, Auto Zero platform, we have interconnect all the machines or the system across the entire building into a one centralized brain with an AI application layers on top. Think of iOS, but for buildings. Every application that we develop could be easily deployed and installed at all the properties. And this is where the AI could make control. For all the given zone in the buildings, they will have their own applications. For example, chiller fan system in the room, in the building, in which they consume the most energy significant of any buildings. Our AI energy optimization app read all the data from the entire building, predict the future next state of the building, and take control on those machines autonomously to reduce energy consumptions. And all of these applications, they aren't working alone. They think and work together like a collective intelligence. And this is where this is our edge in the market, as it's already at scale. From system to building to portfolio-wide, to city-wide portfolio, we unify all the properties data into one single platform. As for property manager, this means that they could run and manage everything from one single screen. Every site, every system, they could identify underperformers and know exactly what and where to invest. And thanks to NVIDIA, infrastructure and edge hardware, we could run everything on this on-premise, so we can ensure that all the systems are reliable, secure, and really fast. This is our team, executive team. Our CEO, he has been in this industry for the past 10 years, and we are backed by leading CVCs. And we have hold multiple key certifications and partnership in the industry. But the bigger picture is the opportunity itself. The building management system market is really huge, and there's still lots of area for us to put our autopilot into each building, thousands of buildings in the Southeast Asia. What we are looking for right now is for local strategic partner to help us grow and scale in the region. In conclusion, Autotech, we put autopilot into buildings, making them run and operate autonomously. We help building owners cut their energy and carbon while keeping their tenant people safe and comfortable. We see a future that from now on, every building will operate and run itself automatically, clean, efficient, and autonomous. If this is a future that you want to join, let's talk today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Takon from Autotech Global. 谢谢来自泰国的 Autotech 的分享。接下来呢，下一组团队我们要欢迎的是来自越南的 Life AI。We're pleased to welcome Mr. Duan Gao, CEO of Life AI from Vietnam, to the stage. Welcome.
Thank you.
Would you like to have your clicker here, Duan Gao?
Thank you so much. So we are all excited about AI, right? AI transforms almost every vertical in the industry. And however, there's some industry which is still moving very slow, that life sciences, healthcare. Because the main reason is that in other industry, you can see that if you have the best model, the best data, you win. But in healthcare, it's actually the coordination of so many key players of the healthcare value chain. Let's say that you are the director or the owner of the hospital. You want the best oncology treatment for your patient, right? But rarely you are willing to share the data, or you can collaborate with other hospitals, collaborate with the researcher to basically make it work. So that's why, for example, running a clinical trial in the US is so expensive. Like it costs you about like 20 million to 100 million to run a clinical trial phase 3. And for every patient, we pay about 500,000 US dollar. Because the man in the middle, they have to coordinate so many different players, the pharma, the hospitals, the patients, the doctor, so that they can run a clinical trial. So coordination of all of that key player is actually one of the main bottlenecks. And Life AI is built to basically solve that problem at a shared infrastructure. Whenever you go and build drug development, you develop another drug for oncology, another drug for Parkinson, you can come to build on top of Life AI because we already have the data for you. We already customize the model for you. You can train the model for you. We can actually provide also the local compliance. So basically, it's another form of platform as a service. And another side of Life AI, we also add the coordination layer so that basically we can coordinate pharma, hospital, patient, doctor with our very big network in Asia. And so that you don't have to build everything from scratch. And so what we are saying whenever we go and try to sell Life AI to our enterprise customer, we say that, okay, come and build on Life AI. We can ship your product 10x faster and 10x cheaper. And most of the time we go and talk with like drug developers company. Okay, and so how it works? So Life AI, basically we have a loop, like human in the loop and also lab in the loop. We make a very closed loop, design, validate, and then we can deploy. Design, validate, and deploy. We work very closely with NVIDIA, Nemotron, and BioNemo. So basically, like we can design the clinical trial for you. We can actually validate, run the clinical trial for you, and then we can actually deploy in various hospitals. And most of the process is actually automated. We scale up the man in the middle. Basically, like we make it work much faster without the man in the middle. Let's put it this way. Okay, thank you so much for a lot of the Dept from NVIDIA help us to basically fine-tuning the Nemotron to work for Parkinson's. So we basically have a showcase to run the Parkinson's on top of Life AI. So there are a couple of showcases which already run with, on top of Life AI. And most of the time, our customers are governments, pharma, and hospital. So one of the examples that we run with the Vietnamese government to run the largest autism study in Southeast Asia. We also deploy many of the doctor AI, like with Thailand's Ministry of Health, and also with the largest pharmaceutical company in Southeast Asia, that is KB Pharma from Indonesia. Okay, so we are very proud that the team are scientists and researchers from UCSF, from Cornell, from UC Berkeley, We have the research team in the US, and most of our operations are based here in Asia. Like we have in Hong Kong, Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia. And I consider it's like a pitching section. We're actually raising the Series A to go and acquire customer in the US, mostly for drug development. Thank you so much. And this my contact. If you want to follow up, then very happy to get connected. Ooh, I see the Cornell shirt. Thank you. Should we sing the Alma Mater song?
Thank you very much. Live AI from Vietnam， 谢谢，感谢来自越南 Live AI 的分享。接下来第3组呢是来自新加坡的团队 NYB 的 AI。Let's welcome Mr. Wing， 阮黄长江执行长，来自 NYB 点 AI 的执行长，来自新加坡，为我们进行分享。Mr. Wing, please.
Hello, hi everyone. So I'd like to start this presentation. My goal today is very simple, to get you to remember me and my company. So first question I'd like to ask, how many of you have taken vitamin C today? Raise your hand. Some of you, okay, not many. How about this week? This week? Wow, not many. Okay, you might not have taken vitamin C today, this week, but we all know that vitamin C is important, right? Does anyone not know if vitamin C is not important? Oh, not yet, right? Yeah. So the reason why I asked that question is because it's a chemical that's actually very influencing for life. But if you go back to the 17th century, there's a very common disease among the sailors who go to the sea. That's called scurvy. People don't know why it happened. Why people keep having these issues, and the health keep deteriorating. They feel very tired. It's simply because they don't know vitamin C exists. They don't know they need to take vitamin C weekly or even daily. So that set the stage for Vecura. So NYB.ai is the company that's set to discover molecules that are important for life. Not just to discover new molecules that can tackle disease, but also molecules that can help prevent disease. So that's what we hope to do. So our ambitions is actually to compress decades of research, discovering new molecules, getting approval into minutes. Right? That sounds crazy, right? Because if you look at the statistic, one drug alone could potentially cost between, depending on the stat that you read, right, 1 to 2 billion USD. One drug and 1 decade to get it out to the market. And who am I to say 6 minutes, right? But we believe as a company, with the help of AI, artificial intelligence, we can do so. So we identify a few couple of bottlenecks that potentially, if we solve, we can discover molecules that similar to maybe vitamin C that actually can help us become healthier, prevent disease from happening, and potentially, can prolong our life. So this is our stacks. It's an infrastructure. The idea is simple. Remember this, right? Don't worry about this. What we are trying to do is to convert token into longevity. All right? Very simple idea. And we're building infrastructure to do so. I think it's very similar and very complementary to Life.ai, but probably we are more, to the molecules. So the first step is a platform called Vecura. This is very interesting, by the way. Look up the name on the internet. The idea is very simple. We're bringing the best tools out there to simulate the biology in our body. The best tool, the best AI tools out there to simulate the biology in the body, so that we can run simulation on how our body, our protein, would react to certain new molecules. Let's say we eat something, right? Do we know how it reacts? Do we know how our body reacts? We don't know yet. So this potentially can help. And we hope that in the future, it can keep growing. And by the way, this platform is built by AI agents, right? We also have our own proprietary models, which we develop in collaboration with a university called NTU, but it's not the Taiwan NTU, it's a Singapore NTU. So these are the models that we develop ourselves to simulate the biology. And very importantly, we also want to know what molecules are out there in nature, what molecules are out there in the plant that we eat, in the fruits that we eat, in maybe the meat, the protein that we eat, right? So that we know, so that we can start simulating their reaction in our body. Then we can identify, okay, this molecule can potentially to go to this part of the body and potentially can cure the cancer. So far, we have created a large library. It's over 1 million compounds. And these are the library of life. In the library, we have the molecules, the most fundamental building block of all natures. And we also have the source of plants, their properties, the potential area of applications. So let me tell you a story why this is very important. So actually, our story starts from the herb garden in NTU, Singapore. Actually, in the herb garden, there are a lot of people that come there and take the herbs. And about 50% of the people that come there actually take the herb for cancer purposes, right? Most of them come there after, I'm not advocating for this, but most of them come there because many of them have a late-stage cancer. And the doctor would say, you can try anything, right? They would come and try TCM, and happen that some of the herbs in NTU herb garden is there. And interestingly, we see a lot of people come back and keep taking the herbs. And we look into the herb, you realize that, oh, interestingly, there's a molecule that's actually responsible for potentially curing multiple type of cancers. We have done multiple kind of research, and we have published a paper on this, and we are going to give human clinical trial for that molecules. And this is the molecule that we don't know that exists before. So another story. So when we try to study this molecule, we try to scale up the production of this molecule. And we give 2 farmers to grow the herbs for us, the herb that contain the molecules. And when we collect the plant from the farmers, we realize that, oh, actually 1 farmer have 10 times more molecule than the others. Why? Why is that? We look at the process, and it turns out 1 farmer applied pesticides. They put pesticide in the plants. And because of the pesticides, there's no insect that bite the plants. And interestingly, this molecule that we discover is a production of the plant to repel the insects from coming and eat the plants. So think about this. We don't know what's in the nature. We don't know the effect in the body from what we eat in the body. But if we know, then we know how to influence how we grow the herbs, how we conserve nature, you know, how we just keep ourselves healthy. And that is what we want to do using AI. With that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wing. 来自 NYB.AI 新加坡的团队。接下来呢是来自 APAC AI Startup 最后一组哦，是来自韩国的 Space AI。有请 Space AI 的金贤奎创办人及执行长上台为我们分享。We're pleased to welcome Mr. Hyung-Yu Kim, the founder and CEO of Space AI from Korea, to the stage. You're going to use this stand, right? Sure. I'll leave you here. Hold on a second.
Good afternoon. I'm Hyung-Yu Kim from Space AI. A robot can see, talk, and plan. However, when a robot produces, touches something real, a cable, soft food, a thin circuit board, one question decides everything. Not where to grip, but how hard to hold. Thinking isn't enough anymore. The next problem is force. That's the data Space AI built.
Robots can see, but they don't feel. The problem is force. Without force data, it destroys. With force training, it handles anything. Same robot, same object, different result. This data didn't exist, so we built the generator. 4 layers, RGB, depth, force, stress. One measurement, scaled to 100 million frames per hour. Simulation and reality in sync. Baseline simulator alone, 61%. Real data alone, 72. Space AI, 84.2. 5 enterprise pipelines already in technical evaluation. food, automotive, electronics, collaborative robotics, e-commerce robotics. When humanoids enter your home, force sensing is everything. Newton lets robots walk. Space AI lets them touch. Pre-A round now open.
So why does this matter? We have massive vision and language data, but not touch data. By 2030, the US could be short 2.1 million factory workers. A robot can see the part and know the step, but not how hard to hold or when either slip, bend, or break. That's the problem we solve. You just saw it. We built up force data for physical AI two parts. First, the first ground rig. It measures real force on real material. Second, our software engine. It generates over 100 million frames per hour. We don't pretend the physics is perfect. We check it against real measured force. Every frame has 4 frames: the image, the depth, the grip force, and how close it is to breaking. But does it really work? We tested this ourselves. Same robot, many objects, only the training data changes. With a regular simulator, 61.5%. With our data, 78.6%. Same robot, just better data. So we start small, one real problem, not your whole line. So why are we here in Taiwan? We work with soft bendable part, but for Taiwan, the best place to start is precision electronics, cables, thin circuit board, soft connectors. The part can look fine, but still fail, it slips, bends, or get damaged. Our offer is simple. Give us one real problem from your line. A fair sample, your logs, or a short clips of what's going wrong. We start fully offline, next to your line, no stopping production. You get first level data, a first report, and a 12 weeks plan. Same engine, turn to your line. So where do we fit? We don't replace simulation tools, we work on top of them. NVIDIA Isaac Sim and Isaac Lamp are the base for simulation and robot learning. Space AI adds what's missing: real, measured force data. Robot makers and integrators can use it as customers and partners. So here's our ask. We want partners in Taiwan, manufacturers, integrators, and investors. Give us one real problem from your line. 12 weeks, a no-cost first diagnostic. We start fully offline. Robot can always see, talk, and plan. Space AI let them touch. If your robot still can't do one task, come find me after this talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kim from Space AI. And also thank you to all the APAC AI startups for your inspiring sharing and also your fast-growing applications. 非常感谢所有 APAC AI startups 带来的精彩的分享。那接下来呢，我们刚刚看到了几个不同领域哦，包含像是永续的营运、robotic AI、生命科技，然后还有生物科技研发等等不同领域的应用。接下来我们要把焦点回到台湾 AI 加速器第一届的辅导团队。台湾 AI 加速器呢，2025年正式启动以来，陪伴着台湾的 AI 新创进行的产品验证、产业合作，还有国际链接。今年台湾也带领了团队都参与了 NVIDIA GTC 2026的盛会，跟全球的 AI 生态系、产业伙伴还有投资的资源进行交流，展现台湾 AI 新创的软硬整合的实力。所以接下来的团队呢，将会分享他们在智慧制造、机器人、智慧医疗等等领域的 AI 应用案例，还有实际的落地经验。Next, we're going to turn our focus back on the first cohort of Taiwan AI accelerators. They will share their outstanding performance on smart manufacturing, healthcare, and robotics. First, let's welcome Alex May, the co-founder and CEO of Kadasu, to the stage. 有请巴良科技的共同创办人及执行长叶轩来进行分享。Alex.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Alex May, co-founder and CEO of Remote NC. We build Kadasu, the AI that understands CAD drawings. We help manufacturing teams turn CAD drawings and engineering documents into decisions, from quotation, quality control, to engineering workflows. Let me start with Tim. Tim works in sales at an OEM supplier. Every time a customer sends him a drawing package, he needs to answer several questions before the company can quote a job. Is this the latest version? The dimension in inch or millimeter? What do the nodes actually mean? What should QC inspect? And finally, what's a fair price? These are not just document questions. They affect sales, engineering, quality control, and supplier communication. Today, Tim usually has to search old folders, compare drawings, ask engineers, check previous quotes, and look through QC record manually. This process is slow, repetitive, and easy to miss important details. Kadasu helps Tim move from drawing to decisions. It understands 2D and 3D CAD data, PDFs, and manufacturing documents. Instead of starting from zero every time, Tim can use Kadasu to find relevant past cases, understand the technical details, and identify risk and turn those findings into follow-up actions. So Kadasu is not just a CAD viewer or a chatbot. It's an AI for CAD and manufacturing workflows. Okay, let's go back to Tim's workflow. When a new drawing arrives, Kadasu helps him answer these questions. First, what do we already know? Kadasu searches similar drawings, past quotes, QC records, and related projects. It gives answers with source references. So the team can reuse past manufacturing knowledge instead of making the same decision again. Second, what does this drawing really mean? Kadasu works like a CAD copilot. User can ask about dimensions, tolerance, materials, revision changes, technical notes, unit conversion, and manufacturing risks like an expert. These are the kind of questions that usually require an experienced engineer to answer, and Kadasu helps make that expertise available to the whole team. Third, what should the team do next? Kadasu turns drawing finding into quotation tasks, QC tasks, engineering follow-ups, and supplier communication. So the drawing becomes the starting point of a trackable manufacturing workflow, not just a static file sitting in a folder. And over time, we are moving closer to CAD itself. We are building toward the AI-assisted 2D drawing generation and editing, 3D CAD and step understanding, model version comparison, and DFM risk detection. We launched officially in March 2025, and by December 2025, we released our LLM-powered version. Since then, we have seen strong traction. We now have around 200 paid customers. Our average monthly growth is around 70%, and our average sales cycle is less than 2 weeks, which is way less than this industry standard. Most of our customers are the suppliers in the TSMC and applied material supply chains across Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, and Vietnam. And importantly, this is not mainly from personal connection or field sales. We are seeing strong inbound from online ads, which tell us the pen is broad and discoverable. Manufacturing suppliers are already looking for AI tools to help them handle drawing-related works. So if you are working on similar problems or have ideas around CAD, please come talk to us. We are Kadasu, the AI that understand CAD drawings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex. Next startups, we're going to have Red Pill Lab。接下来欢迎沉浸科技的共同创办人暨执行长 RH 石千宏上台分享。
OK， 好。
This is RH, the CEO and co-founder of Red Pill Lab.
OK, test. OK. Hi everyone. My name is RH Shi. I'm from Red Pill Lab. Yeah, I see a lot of familiar faces today. Yeah. OK, so let's start. So in here, I want to show you how we are empowering physical AI with intuitive collaboration. Yeah, that's me. 15 years ago, I was in this engineering. I learned how to bring characters to life. But today, at Red Pill Lab, we are really solving the real-world problem. See? So that's the movie, right? In The Martian. So in the extreme environment, we need human intuition to save life. And in here, we have built the bridge between human intelligence and the machine precision. So over the past 5 years, Red Pill Lab, our AI model has been adopted by worldwide PC manufacturers, including the company above. Also, we are actively operating across 9 countries. So that video is from a few days ago, Jason's keynote. So in here, that's me. So I'm teleoperation real time, but there's no sensors, no any just switch on my body. So I can just teleoperation directly to a robot using my motion. Why? Because we bring humans' lives to robots perfectly. So meet our product, NeoCore. So there's, like I mentioned, there's no sensors, there's no switch. Just standard webcam, few standard webcam. We can capture the human motions into the, just a fingertips level. And while traditional motion capture, it takes 30 minutes to set up. Our NeoCore takes 0 minutes, and it's non-invasive and works in factory environment perfectly. So it's another approach. For example, like in dangerous mission, speed is life. So we provide instant teleoperation, and the operators, they can act safely. However, we see the bottleneck today because I think the machine is ready, but the robot's brain is still empty. That's the bottleneck of the missing data. So what's the secret of a NeoCore? I would say that's the flywheel. So within our technology, we capture diverse, high quality, the real data from more and more factories. And once these flywheels is in motion, actually we are building a technical barrier. It's nearly impossible to be overcome. And I think from the we using the NeoCore to collect motion, and then using the NVIDIA Mimic. And by the way, then we have a Isaac Lab, and the last is Groot, since we already moved to the real embodied robot. So we are going to touch the total market value in 2030 is about 380 billion. However, over the past 2 to 3 years, there will be an 8.5 data precision market. We are using our NeoCore to touch this about 8.5 billion SOM. Also, because we capture the high quality 3D data from remote operation, so we only extract the 3D skeleton, which means all the clients' data is 100% identified, de-identified, also anonymous. So here's our strategy. It's very simple. Land and expand. We solve today's industrial problem to build tomorrow's AI model. So we offer 2 models, scale with the SaaS and enterprise. One is the 20,000 annual license for the per year for enterprise, also the 49 per camera per month for SaaS base. So we're on the path to over 20 million NT ARR in this year. Also, yeah. So people will start to ask, so once your technology keep growing, what's this smart brain will do next? I would say currently our R&D teams, they are building the solutions for disaster rescue. I would say from the simple tent to just possibility can be even further For example, we can do the defense and eventually to the moon. We're powering the robot to build AI servers. That's possible, right? So we are the perfect team to execute this idea, this vision. We have the experience from CMU, Disney, and the Blizzard. Also, my partners, they are AI veterans, also senior entrepreneurs. We're already backed by Silicon Valley capitals. Also, we want to start to rise in the scale, our capital Series A for scale. And this year, we want to list the R&D fund can go to the algorithm and also the Taiwan and the GTM plus the cloud infrastructure. So come to see our live demo. We have the EGI's the group with the embodied AI in the on this floor. Actually, you can see what we have demos demonstrating here. You can see our operators just doing the bubble tea and solving the difficult daily tasks using the live tail operation to the real robots. Yeah, so let's unlock the humanoid revolution together, and we connect human intuition to machine today and to build the smart brains of tomorrow. That's Rapid Lab. And if you have interesting, yeah, we can talk in the behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, RH, the CEO and co-founder from Rapid Dept. 谢谢诚进科技的史千宏共同创办人及执行长。紧接着第三个团队，让我们欢迎的是摩洛人工智慧，有请商业开发及客户经理吴信燕经理上台分享。Let's welcome Manager Wu, the BD Manager and Account Manager of Morel AI, to the stage. 有请。
Hey everyone, my name is Leon with Morel AI. Today I would like to share about our experience of using AI agent to help manufacturers overcome their daily challenges. So when we talk about manufacturing in Taiwan, we tend to think about the tea company or other like AI ecosystem suppliers, manufacturers on Jensen's Keynote, including us as a software vendors. But with our years of experience working with our customers, we realize in Taiwan there's a lot of hidden champions. Like for example, in printed circuit boards, in textile, in shoeswear, in metal industries, those hidden champions actually have a lot of problem and then waiting for the AI solution to help them. So there's two key critical problems for this manufacturer. First is knowledge retention, and second is data fragmentation. So for knowledge retention means when the senior employee retire, which is happening right now in Taiwan, a lot of experience, knowledge in their head are retired with them. And the junior employee just couldn't catch up in time. That's one of the biggest problems for the manufacturer in Taiwan. And the second is data fragmentation. We know Taiwanese manufacturers are strong. We're going different countries in the world. But the thing is, when you're expanding fast, you have a lot of facility in different countries. Means you have a lot of machine, equipment scattered around in different countries. Without the AI before, the data across the whole world with the manufacturers just sitting there doesn't do anything. So data stay data, and it's not information. So it doesn't provide actionable insight for the decision makers. And this is where we can help. So as you can see, our solution in high-level explanation is a combination of LLM, machine learning model, and data science work, and our proprietary data. So give you a better idea, I'll present two use cases, and let's hope I have enough time to finish them. So the first is in textile industries. So let's take a real use case we're helping with our customer with. For example, the t-shirt I'm wearing right now, how do you know it's fluffy or stiff? My fluffy and stiff, it's going to be very different than your fluffiness and stiff. So before, when a manufacturer are getting the order from their like OEM and getting for example, getting the order from the Nike or Adidas, they will design specific fluffiness and stiff, and then they will heavily rely on their senior employees. So what they do is they will ask the senior like experienced employee to touch the samples, and then this person will have the right parameters of setting the machine in their head, and then they will just go ahead and set up the machine and start producing. That's how they do the prototyping. But as you can see, everything is in their head. So once they retire, those kind of knowledge is gone. So they create a vacuum for the manufacturer, which is very critical. So what we do here is pretty interesting. One of our customers working with us, we invite all their experts, and then we select a piece of fabric with them and say, hey, can you touch a fabric rated from 1 to 5, scale the fluffiness for this fabric. And then on the other side, we have the machine parameters make exactly the same fabric. So once we got the two sets of the data, we combine them together, and our data science use them to train the deep learning machine the models. we are able to teach the AI agent to select this machine model to actually do the work for the experienced worker. So right now what they do is they have the junior designer come in and then just ask our agent, say, hey, I want to make this close, and then I want a level 5 of fluffiness. Can you suggest me the right physical parameters? And the agent will just give it to him. And what's even better is like we integrate with explainable AI. So not only you getting the answer, you will know exactly what this answer coming from, the thinking process of the AI. So make the answer more credible. So our second real use case is the machine. I was talking about data fragmentation. So imagine you own factories and then you have sites in Vietnam, Thailand, Taiwan, and then more than 100 different type of machine. That's actually the true story for one of our customers. Before, the pipeline of the information flow really slow and long. For example, I'm the general manager. I want to know what's going on with the machine right now or in the past 5 days. What I have to do before was asking my IT team and then maybe meeting with a different team in different countries, pull the log from the MES systems to get the status of currently. Once the information is gathered and then make it a presentable Excel, it's already few days past. So decision making is not instant, it's not fast enough. And that's unacceptable in a manufacturer in this changing phase of period of the time. So what we do is we use our technology, our MCP, to access customer server to get the log, and then from the MES system, and then pull them in. Our data science, we're working with the domain expert to know exactly what kinds of error symptom showing. For example, vibration is too high, temperature too high, the RPM is too slow. So this kind of symptom, when they show, what kinds of errors will show on the machines. So once we got those information, again, we use our deep learning model training our agents, be able to get predictions. So what the agent can do is a few things. First, it gives a prediction. It's almost like our prognostic health management. It will tell you like, oh, if you show in these few symptoms, some certain error will happen in the near future. So you must replace the component before the machine completely shut down. So it's one thing the agent can do. Second is the decision maker can just go on our website, ask, I want to know the past 5 days, for example, W123, the machine status. Is it optimized? Is it efficient enough? What's the efficiency rate? This kind of information, you can just use natural language to ask it. Before it was impossible and take a lot of time to do that. Another thing is because we plug in the MES system, so we have to log out the productions. So we will know which batch or product is making in which site, which machine. So the decision maker can get the better answer of, am I being late for my delivery? Am I facing some unpredictable delivery in the future? So do I have to do something right now? What do I do to improve my safe inventory if my order is spiking right now and machine is full-time running? This kind of information, our user can just simply ask on their machine. Okay, I want to give you guys a quick recap. We're talking about the challenge manufacturers facing. We're talking about the two applications we have on the R&D phase and on production phase. But that's not all we can do. We actually have more agents on supply chain handling the order, getting the raw material on time so you can do your production. We have another agent doing quality control, doing defect analysis using our vision models. And those models we actually train from scratch. Because simply the general model is just not powerful enough. You have to do a lot of things in-house. And then we have the support from the NVIDIA and all our partners. We make this possible for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much,李永武 from Maria AI。接下来第4个团队，让我们有请的是神瑞人工智慧的商务长邵商务长为我们上台分享。Let's welcome Jing, the Chief Commercial Officer from Dept AI, to the stage.
Hi everyone, I'm Jing Hsiao from Dept AI. Very appreciate the opportunity today. Thank you, Amanda, to be with Taiwan. And I'm here to showcase how we leverage NVIDIA technology advancement to use imaging AI to provide the prevention medicine solutions. To start with, let me ask you a question. How do you foresee your health future in the next 10 years? The reason we ask is because the healthcare industry is facing tremendous challenge because the increase of the incidence of cancers, chronic disease, and all that. That leads to significant increase of the medical burden and also social economic impact. So with what we have witnessed these days, the advance in all the AI, all the technology, it's time to address the problem. And now change the scenario. Try to imagine if you go to the hospital and get your body scanned with the latest scanning technologies. And then a series of AI is telling you your risk in cancer, in osteoporosis, in dementia, in your lung, in your heart, in your liver. And there is an avatar, a personal coach in your phone that can guide you through the process to improve your own health. How amazing is that? So this is something that Dept AI is working on. The reason that we choose to tackle this challenge is because we are founded by the group of healthcare professionals. So we understand the pain, the problem, and also we believe in the value and the potential. So we aim to filling the gaps. So here are our solutions. We provide solutions for lung, for heart, for spine, for brain, for breast, and also we have an avatar, Sophie. We built them while we leveraging NVIDIA technology, including MONAI and Nematron series. We are looking forward to Nematron 3, actually. So also we can deploy our solutions in NVIDIA architecture, both in the cloud and on-prem. For example, the Jetson Thor or the upcoming NVIDIA. So before I jump into the next slides, today I'll be focusing and sharing some updates and highlights of our flagship product, DeepLung CAC and BMD. It's a 3-in-1 solution, so I will get to that soon. Before I jump in, I'd like to share with you a true story. So a friend in her early 50s last year, she came to our hospital and do her annual health check. She requested for lung cancer screening specifically because her husband is a heavy smoker, so she's worried she might have lung cancer. So guess what happened? Turns out her lung is perfectly normal. That's good. However, she read that in her report says, please strongly suggest to go to cardiologist for further examination. And turns out in the end, in 2 weeks, she got a heart surgery to avoid her high risk of having heart attack. So the concept behind the story is a term we call incidental finding, IF. We don't want this to happen to us or not. So incidental finding means that you were aimed for a certain scan, but you find something else in the process. And that's what is an emerging important concept in prevention medicine. So here is our first flagship solution called DeepLung CAC, BMD. What we can do better now in lung screening process is that we not only check for lung cancer, we also detect heart disease risk and osteoporosis risk. And in a mid-sized hospital, we just deployed for over a year. They have accomplished a 2-fold case productivity increase and also the revenue increase. So that's the value of this product behind incidental finding. Not only we increase the efficiency, productivity, reduce reading times, we also help the hospital to generate better profit while provide high quality services. We already deploy in more than 35 hospitals and cumulatively 100,000 real-world cases. And we were also awarded with several awards last year, including Select USA and the InnoVEX pitch contest. Thank you. So we appreciate all the resources and opportunity. And right now, we are not stopping in Taiwan. We are going abroad to Japan and US and also Southeast Asia. Last year, a good news for us is that we just got our new certificate in Japan. So this year will be very critical for us to go to Japan market. We are currently asking for partners worldwide, the agencies, distributors, and the VC funds, of course. So currently, we are in our A series, and we are looking for resources and supports to help us to expand our solutions and provide it to the world. So today, the take-home message is let's think about our health future in 10 years. And we hope that can provide you solutions that provide a healthier future to all of us together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jing from Dept AI。感谢神瑞人工智慧的邵商务长为我们带来的分享。最后来自Taiwan cohort 第一届的团队，最后一个联觉科技的创办人暨执行长 Jack。Let's welcome Jack Hsiao, the founder and CEO of InnoVEX Tech.
Hello. Thanks for your patience. This is the last part, so stay tight. My name is Jack. I am the CEO and the founder of InnoVEX. So this is a Taiwan #1 AI stage, right? So guess what? Besides semiconductor or like Taiwan AI in the future, what is the #1 industry in Taiwan from Taiwan too? It's actually premium textile industry. So like our textile supplier actually achieve a lot of big brands like Nike, Lululemon, Adidas. Those fabrics are all come from Taiwan's textile suppliers. Even like this blazer, this is made of the coffee grounds, which is very lightweight, very breathable, and also can cool down the surface temperature. And these are all from Taiwan textile manufacturer. I'm not going to here to sell my clothes, but InnoVEX is actually a digital textile intelligence platform that focuses on the global supply chain decision making. So material sourcing is still one of the biggest bottleneck for the global supply chain. Because from the brand side, if they are going to find the right material, it takes about 9 to 12 months to develop new fabric. And then also they need to have a lot of physical sampling, emailing, all the fragment process actually costs them $60 million per year. And for the suppliers, it's different challenges. Although they have very good, great materials, but all the value is actually trapped in their physical showroom and all the offline sales meetings. So they have no way, so there's a lot of dead stock in the warehouse actually. So they have their own challenges, even we make very great premium textiles. And for small brands or like indie designer, the challenge is even harder because they face a lot of MOQ issues and they cannot reach to the premium fabric because their quantity is not as big as the big brands, but they have good talents, but they cannot to really produce it in the physical world. So that's why we built InnoVEX. InnoVEX actually focuses on solving the problem between brands and suppliers. So we have a solution for suppliers to automate the whole digitalization process to turn their physical fabric to the digital twins, and also offer a sourcing intelligence platform for brands or designers to find the right materials. All right, so InnoVEX Showroom, we offer hardware and software for them to turn the physical fabric into the digital twins. And we also have a simulation engine to simulate fabric physics. And not only the appearance or the look, how it looks, we also build with the agentic AI behind. So all the fabric become searchable, visualizable, and also explainable. As for a InnoVEX Showroom, this is designed for brands, sourcing company, or like the indie designers. It's just like using a ChatGPT, but we have a textile agent expert behind, and also aggregate all the premium textiles within our suppliers, so they can just describe, oh, I need a lightweight, street breathable material for outdoor clothes. Then we can easily find that with the right material, with the right suppliers, and also have a simulation engines for them to quickly generate how it looks like on the finished products. The market share here is pretty huge because besides the size, besides the SaaS subscriptions, we also thinking of in the future everyone on board to the platform. We are also will be take some advantage from the fabric transactions. So our solution has been validated in the market. So the customers. Our customers include the textile manufacturer across apparel, footwear, furniture, or even the interior design. For example, like these are all the big textile suppliers who support all these big brands, like Xinguang Fangzhi, Little Kings, or like Mechalot. This is actually our go-to-market strategy and also our roadmap. In the past 2 years, we focused on onboarding textile manufacturers to adopt the new AI and also the agentic library. So we offer then hardware, software to build all the libraries, and then we turn to the material intelligence API right now. So we offer the API to all the suppliers and all the brands to source the product more smartly. And in the future, I think we are going to move toward to do the virtual sampling. The reason that we would like to have material supplier to digitize their content, because we think in the future when the generative AI is really powerful, but we really need to design something could be manufacturable. So I think based on their existing database, we are able to prompt to design, but the design is not just like the ChatGPT generated images, but actually have the manufacturabilities behind, because we already the AI behind already understand how they produce this kind of textile in the past, and in the future they can predict how you look and also tell the manufacturer this is something you can try it out and make the physical sample. All right, this is a little too much. So this is how we different, because I have in the fashion tech for almost a decade, and we continue to accumulate all the database from the suppliers. And right now we are kind of moved toward to the sourcing and brand side, and this is also make us very different. In the market, there's a lot of solutions like for the fabric scanner or like the sourcing platform, but I think we are the only one who built the hardware and software to connect all the dots, so from end to end, from supplier to brand side. And the tools that we offer is also very easy to use for a manufacturer, because we know textile industry is not as advanced as the semiconductor industry. So we need to design something very easy to use for them to quickly convert the physical swatches to the digital libraries. So I think we are the only one in the market to automate the process and also continuously help them to accumulate the data for the future AI agents. So we are currently trying to raise the seed round. So so if you're interested, we have a booth in the NVIDIA and Startup Pavilion. So welcome to talk with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack from InnoVEX. 谢谢所有台湾新创团队带来的精彩分享。我们可以看到台湾 AI 加速器如何扮演新创跟企业之间的桥接平台，协助新创从技术的验证、场域的合作、产品的调整到商业化扩展，一路的这个 AI 落地的这个过程，协助更多的 AI 团队在真实场域中验证他们的价值，并且迈向规模化的发展。在我们今天整个论坛的最后，我们想要邀请 StarFab 的董事，同时也是佳士达集团的总经理柯淑芬博士，来为我们今天的论坛带来简短的结语。We would like to invite Dr. Kelly Cole, also the board member of StarFab and the president of Keystar Corporation, to give us some closing remarks. Please, Dr. Cole.
谢谢。The NVIDIA teams, StarFab, and everyone, good morning. 早安，早上好。他们告诉我要 switch 成中文，可以听得懂吗？没问题。好，我是佳士达的柯淑芬。那今天很荣幸的能够代表NVIDIA, StarFab， 还有我们在座的所有的新创们来跟大家分享 AI 最重要的。我想刚刚我们有讲了策略。讲了技术，最重要的是 AI 要落地，所以 AI 要落地呢，不仅是技术的创新成熟，最重要的是要了解产业的问题、痛点，能够了解产业的痛点，并且解决产业的问题。所以就像 Keystar 这一次在 Computex 2026提出来的 AI in Action。就是要让 AI 从技术的层面走到了产业的应用。很重要的，今天在座有这么好的技术，我们怎么把 AI 落地呢？最重要的是要什么？把 AI 产业化，得到更多的产业的支持。所以今天 NVIDIA 的 Inception Program 跟 StarFab 开始把 AI 产业化。有台湾更多的企业来支持这个 program， 让大家的 AI 技术呢，能够在不同的场域能够经过验证，验证了之后呢，能够在不同的 vertical 去水平展开， 甚至去真正的落地应用。这也是为什么这一次NVIDIA 的 Inception Program 还有 StarFab 共同创立了 Taiwan 这个 Fund， 最主要是让在座的各位，不管是创业家我们说 entrepreneurs、investors， 还有 enterprise 都能够一起能够把这个 AI Fund 不仅从台湾到亚洲到世界。那为什么台湾可以成为 AI 的中心？我 always 跟我的团队说，台湾就是一个中心 of hardware excellence meets software innovations。所以台湾很重要，跟大家一起。今天呢，台湾这个 fund 就是要支持在座各位 AI 的新创，借由 StarFab 的 execution。还有 NVIDIA Inception Program 的 incubation， 让你的技术可以真正不只在台湾落地，不只在台湾的产业落地，还要走向国际，真正的往这个国际的 AI 的大道走过去。所以很重要的是，我们不是看单一个技术，而是这个 Taiwan Fund 是要 create 一个平台，让你的技术也可以跟别的技术连结。然后呢，大家一起真正的 create 一个平台，一个 ecosystem 走向国际。那在这里呢，我们就要特别谢谢，就是 NVIDIA 的 Inception Program， 我们有 NVIDIA 的同事在这边，还有 StarFab 的董事长 Amanda 在这边，还有在座的各位，我们有很多企业界的代表，希望大家我们一起来，我们把台湾的 AI、Asia Pacific 亚洲的 AI 的 solution 推向国际。谢谢。
Thank you, Kelly。谢谢柯博士，有请柯博士留步。
Thank you very much。
我们想要请贵宾一起上台跟柯博士合影，好不好
？Okay.
Before we close up, I would like to invite some of our guests on the stage again for another good photo with Kelly. So, first of all, our host today, Amanda from StarFab, and also all of our friends from NVIDIA, including Ankit, please, and also Benjamin and LJ. Please come up to stage with Kelly and Amanda. Let's have another group photo together. And to close up for today's forum. Thank you very much. All right, so let's look at the camera at the front. 我们看向前方的 and follow the direction of the photographer. Thank you. 来，第一机 please raise up your to look at the tallest guy first. Second one, 请举手，要看谁，请举手。All right. Anyone else? Oh, the third one. It's a fixed one or the motion. All right. You can try to move a bit. Let's do it one more time. Give me your smile and your thumbs up. All right, thank you very much, all my guests. 谢谢台上所有的朋友们，也谢谢今天所有的贵宾讲者，还有新创团队，当然还有在座参与的每一位朋友。活动最后也再次提醒正在寻找场域、技术、资源，还有国际市场机会的 AI 新创团队。第2届台湾 AI 加速器已经正式启动征案，欢迎有兴趣的团队把握机会加入。活动结束之后，如果各位对于今天present 的新创团队，或者是所有参展的新创团队有兴趣，欢迎各位前往 NVIDIA Inception Program Taiwan 以及 StarFab 主题展区，摊位号码 S0712A， 与现场的新创团队进一步交流，了解更多 AI 解决方案与合作机会。Thank you very much, all the guests and all the audiences, for joining us today for today's forum. After this forum, if you are interested in all exhibition startup brought by Taiwan AI Accelerator, we invite you to visit the NVIDIA Inception Program, Taiwan and StarFab Pavilion to meet the startup teams and explore more AI solutions and collaboration opportunities together. So see you later at the pavilion. Thank you. Thank you.